Chapter 8 is a defeat boss map, and the first map in Conquest to have a map gimmick. The map gimmick being these villagers. There are two enemy lancers, the first being here and the second next to Kilmer, who will advance towards these villagers in hopes of visiting them in order to summon reinforcements. However, the player can also visit these villagers in order to close them off, and you will gain gold for each village you close up to 3. You will gain the biggest reward being 10,000 for 3 villages visited. You can kill the lancers to stop their progress, of course, but it's unlikely that you will be able to save all of the villagers. Probably because of this guy. The objective of the map, other than saving the villagers, is to defeat the boss, Kilmer. He has very good stats for the timer. He has good stats compared to the rest of your army, and is tough to take on alone. But we'll get to him when we get to him. There's also the sub-boss of Flora, who can freeze our unit, with her staff and has the skill Icy Blood. I've already arranged my units, but I haven't added any tonics. So let's just get into this map.
Careful out there!
We'll start by having Arthur visit the first village in order to reap its rewards. This will initially set him back from the rest of the army, but we'll have a way to get him to catch up. Next up, we'll have Elise and Corin power up Elise and have them move over here. And then Silas and Effie will follow suit. And of course, we separate Corin and Effie in order to Corin and Elise and Silas and Effie in order to get them placed ahead. And Felicia will follow short. Nothing happens this enemy phase, but
the darkness whispers.
On player phase we get Odin, who is a shaky, albeit rather who is a dark range of shaky growths, but has rather good utility later in the run, and he's good for this chapter. And Niles is very good. First up, we'll have Arthur power up with Felicia, but we'll get to him later. And then Niles will power up with Odin, who will move here and then separate downward. And Corin, Effie, Felicia and Arthur will go behind these two, behind Silas and Odin. Not Silas, Niles and Odin. And when we get to the interesting part, Silas will move just out of Flora's staff range, and Silas will be moving here in order to make her break for this village. And then this positioning of my unit seems dangerous, but the Dragon Vein easily saves them by melting the ice in order to make these enemies unable to move and make all the ice unpassable. Now the lake is melted. Now the lake is melted. Niles can finish off these Niles and Odin can finish these dark mages really. And now, first up on this new turn, Silas will move just below Flora, but not attack her. Even at base level, he can survive a round against her, so don't worry. across the lake together, and now you move the rest of our units across the lake, except for Elise, who can't make it. And Corn will activate the second Dragon Bane, freeze the lake again, making it so Silas and Elise can't be hurt by the enemy axe fighters. Flora and Silas will do a round of combat, both dealing with rather good chip downs for each other, and that's rather intended. Now, Silas can finally visit the village in order to get our second village, and we can kill Flora easily, but we'll need to heal Niles before we can do it. This results in a level for Elise, and a really good one. Jesus. And now, Niles can finally finish off Flora. This person now is in range of the axe fighters until we do. But if we just put Effie here, we can just he'll be perfectly safe. And I'll have Corin sit here with the Dragon Stone in order to make things extra safe. And Felicia will get the third village, and that's our 10,000 gold. And I'll just have Odin move over here for the next turn. As expected, Effie baits out the axe fight. The axe fighters are dealt with as expected, but one axe fighter is dealt with. But defeating the second one seems to be somewhat of a challenge. Felicia and Effie will deal with this axe fighter. And I was can deal with just this one before I finish them off. Arthur and Niles are in the range of this Dark Mage, but thanks to Lisa's free staff, we can just deal with him easily. We'll put Odin in range of this. We'll put Odin in range of this Lancer, and Silas will go behind him to assume attack stance, and Con will just move it up here to not get. I'm kind of being pincered a little here, but we can deal with it. First step is to kill the Lancer in order to make sure nothing else happens. First step is to kill the Lancer in order to make sure we don't get any more reinforcements. Luckily, Niles and Colin can do this easily. Next up is dealing with the Dark Mage and Axe Fighter. Corn can just absolutely destroy the Axe Fighter easily, so that's not a worry at all. And Corn and Felicia leave the Dark Mage at 1 health, which isn't a kill at all, but it does leave Silas, but Silas can easily finish them off. And Elise will just heal Silas, up, and we'll be fine. And everyone will move out of Effie will just stand here in order to take up the Axe Fighters, but not get hit by the Dark Mages. However, all the villages have been. However, all the villages are opened up, so we don't need to worry about any more reinforcements. Odin can fight this Dark Mage, and Cyrus will help him with the Jewel Strike. Corn and Elise will just simply stand here. Now we have 4 enemies. Now we have 5 enemies to deal with, but they shouldn't be too much of a concern. First up, Cyrus can kill this Dark Mage easily, and he's gaining some more valuable. And he's getting some more valuable bonus weapon XP on his lancers. Corn can deal with the. Next up, Corn can easily deal with the Axe Fighter. Well, the Axe Fighter is not dead, but he'll be dead really. But Odin can just swoop in to take the kill, you know. But now Odin can, as usual, kill a Dark Mage. Effie one-shot this guy.
Am I?
Well, that's already Arthur Power speaking, but you know. And Felicia and Cyrus can finish this Axe Fighter off. And to end the turn, Lacey will heal Niles. And now we can move on to Kilmer. Ooh boy, Kilmer being the boss of this map is... Kilmer is a tough boss for this early in the game. But he can be dealt with, but he's far from absolutely ridiculous. But he's far from ridiculous. He's a tough enemy to fight on his own, but you can absolutely deal with him. The first thing to note is that Effie will have dual guard ready for this fight. But Felicia and Effie will start by chipping Kilmer down a little. Well, Effie will be. Felicia will just be using the dagger attack in order to. Effie will just be using the dagger attack in order to lower Kilmer's stats, specifically the defense, resistance, and magic. But he's far from dead yet. This is where Cohen comes in. This is where Cohen comes in.
Yes.
This is where Cohen comes in. As he can use the dragon. He can use the dragon stone to fight Kilmer to deal severe damage to Kilmer. Well, not severe, but chip damage. The severe damage is just from Dragon Fang, but you know. But either way, it will likely be enough for Effie to finish him off. For Effie to finish Kilmer off, ending the map. This strategy gets us 10,000 gold and clears the map in 10 chapters. Getting a lot of the getting your starting party quite a bit of EXP between a lot of them, and is a rather safe way to finish the chapter. Stage complete.